In the digital world, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to cybersecurity. Today, we're diving deep into a particularly stealthy threat: rootkits. Imagine a thief breaking into your house, not to steal your belongings, but to control your home from the shadows. That's what a rootkit does to your computer. Rootkits are malicious programs designed to operate in stealth mode. They burrow deep into your system, often at the operating system level, making them difficult to detect. Their goal? To give hackers a backdoor into your digital life, allowing them to steal data, spy on your activities, or even control your computer remotely. What makes rootkits particularly dangerous is their ability to mask their presence. They can effectively hide themselves in other malicious activities, making you believe your system is clean. Think of a chameleon blending into its surroundings. That's the level of camouflage we're talking about. Rootkits are not a new threat, but their sophistication and methods of attack are constantly evolving. That's why it's crucial to understand what you're dealing with, and arm yourself with the knowledge to protect your digital life. In the following sections, we'll explore how these silent invaders infiltrate your system, the different types of rootkits, and most importantly, how to detect, remove, and protect yourself against them. Rootkits are masters of disguise, often hitching a ride with other malware or exploiting vulnerabilities to slip into your system unnoticed. Let's shed light on some common entry points. Phishing remains a popular tactic. Imagine receiving an email that appears to be from a trusted source, like your bank or a colleague. It might contain an attachment or a link, seemingly harmless. However, clicking on it could unleash a rootkit onto your system. Another entry point is through software vulnerabilities. Hackers are always on the lookout for weaknesses in operating systems, applications, or even firmware. Outdated software is particularly susceptible. Think of it like leaving a window open in your house. It's an invitation for trouble. Malicious downloads are another way rootkits can sneak in. Downloading software or files from untrusted websites or peer-to-peer networks can be risky. What appears to be a legitimate program could be bundled with a hidden rootkit. Drive-by downloads take advantage of vulnerabilities in your web browser or plugins. Simply visiting a compromised website could trigger an automatic download and installation of a rootkit without your knowledge or consent. It's like having a booby trap waiting to be sprung. Once a rootkit gains a foothold, it burrows deep, often employing a three-pronged approach: dropper, loader, and rootkit. The dropper acts as the initial point of entry, bypassing security measures and preparing the ground for the rootkit. The loader then injects the malicious code into your system's core processes. Finally, the rootkit itself takes hold, hiding in plain sight and granting the attacker access to your system. Not all rootkits are created equal. They come in various forms, each with its level of complexity and persistence. Understanding these distinctions is crucial for effective detection and removal. User mode rootkits operate at the application level. They're often injected into running processes or start themselves during system startup. While stealthy, they're generally easier to detect and remove compared to their more sophisticated counterparts. Kernel mode rootkits are the heavy hitters. They operate at the heart of your operating system, the kernel, giving them complete control. Detecting and removing them is significantly more challenging because they can intercept and manipulate system calls, making them appear as legitimate processes. Bootkits take root at an even deeper level, infecting the master boot record or volume boot record. They launch before your operating system even loads, making them incredibly difficult to detect and remove. It's like having a thief change your house locks before you even realize they've broken in. Virtual rootkits add another layer of complexity. They create a virtual machine environment within your system, effectively hiding their activities from your operating system and security software. They're like ghosts in the machine, making them extremely challenging to detect and eradicate. Firmware rootkits target the firmware of your hardware devices, such as your network card or router. These rootkits are particularly persistent because they reside in the device's memory, even after you shut down your computer. Detecting and removing them often requires specialized tools and expertise. Memory rootkits, as their name suggests, reside solely in your computer's RAM. They leave no trace on your hard drive but disappear when you reboot your system. Their ephemeral nature makes them difficult to detect as they vanish without a trace when the system is restarted. Detecting and removing rootkits can be a challenging endeavor, but it's not impossible. Specialized rootkit scanners are your first line of defense. These tools are designed to identify known rootkit signatures and suspicious behavior. Think of them as digital detectives trained to spot the subtle clues that rootkits leave behind. Behavioral analysis is another crucial technique. By closely monitoring your system's behavior for any anomalies, such as unusual network activity, unexplained file changes, or sluggish performance, you can potentially spot the footprints of a rootkit. Boot time scanners offer another layer of protection. These tools scan your system before the operating system fully loads, catching rootkits that try to hide during normal operation. It's like checking for intruders before you unlock your front door. Memory dump analysis can be helpful in identifying memory-resident rootkits. By analyzing a snapshot of your computer's RAM, security experts can uncover hidden processes and malicious code that might not be visible during normal system operation. Integrity checking involves comparing your system files against known, clean versions. Any discrepancies could indicate that a rootkit has tampered with your system files. It's like checking your bank statements for any unauthorized transactions. In extreme cases, reinstalling your operating system might be the only way to ensure complete removal of a persistent rootkit. It's a drastic measure, but sometimes it's the only way to guarantee a clean slate. Preventing rootkit infections is always preferable to dealing with the aftermath. Here are some essential tips to bolster your defenses. Keep your software updated. Regularly updating your operating system, applications, and antivirus software patches vulnerabilities that rootkits exploit. Use strong passwords and multi-factor authentication. Strong passwords and multi-factor authentication make it significantly harder for attackers to gain initial access to your system. Be cautious of email attachments and downloads. Avoid opening email attachments or downloading files from untrusted sources. If something seems suspicious, it probably is. Use a reputable firewall. A firewall acts as a barrier between your computer and the outside world, blocking unauthorized access attempts and malicious traffic. Regularly back up your data. Regular backups can be a lifesaver if your system becomes compromised. They allow you to restore your data to a clean state, minimizing potential damage. Employ the principle of least privilege. Limit user accounts to only the permissions they need to perform their tasks. This reduces the potential damage a rootkit can inflict if it manages to infiltrate your system. Regularly scan your system for malware and monitor system activity for any suspicious behavior. Prevention is always better than cure. By staying informed, adopting proactive security measures, and remaining vigilant, you can significantly reduce your risk of falling victim to these stealthy and potentially devastating malware attacks.